see if anybody rolls in. We'll see if anybody's still around. Since it is late night. It is late night. I got a package. I think you know what it is. Time sensitive material? Why would it be time sensitive material? I don't know, that's what it says on it. Corn farts. I think I got my, it says time sensitive material. It does say Seneca's Bass. I'm assuming, hey JD87, I'm assuming this is my mic. I'm assuming that's my mic. I'm not absolutely sure, but I'm assuming. I didn't order anything else. Yeah, it's been a long, long day, guys. Long day. Long day adventuring to a new body of water that I've never ever fished. And if today was any, I don't know. If today was any inkling of how that place usually fishes, I'm probably never going back. It was tough. It was a tough, tough, tough day. Caught a trout on a Senko, huh? No, this is a brutal day. Brutal. Never really heard about that place. And now I know why. Now I know why. It's a perk pond. I don't know if you guys know what the perk ponds are. They're all over San Jose. That's where they fill them up and so they can sink into the groundwater. And most of them are toilet bowl blue because they put this chemical for the weeds in there. This one wasn't blue, but it was green. Your ears must have been. Your ears must have been burning wet. No, no. No, I went to Coyote Creek Park. No, this is in Los Gatos. It's just down the street from Versona. It's like 2 miles down the creek from where me and Tito went last time to Versona. And it was pretty much the same situation. Pretty much the same scenario. I don't know what it is with Versona and those, but they're just not good. What were you talking about me, Backroads? You talking about me behind my back? You slandering me all over the internet? Oh. Get my email today. No. No, I've been gone since like 10. I left at 10 this morning. Oh, 2 miles further down? No, we went to the Los Gatos ones. There's 2 of them. Yeah, I've been to the perk ponds by Bass Pro Shops. Worse if depends on where you are. I remember most of the lakes I go to, no boats are allowed, so I don't have that option. In like what, Chesbro, Uvis, Vasona, Almaden Reservoir, Guadalupe, uh, where I was today, and then even Anderson and Coyote half the year, no boats. Might have been the same ones, Corn. I don't know. Now it's called Los Gatos Creek Park. It's got a monolith right in the front that tells you about them. It's in like an industrial area. The creek runs, and then there's the two perk ponds. Actually, there's like four perk ponds or something, but most of them they don't fill up. Yeah, well, yep, yeah. I saw videos. I see people catch them there, but it's nothing but weeds. It's like it's got a lot of grass in it right now. Never saw. We saw one fish. Yeah, those are the ones. It's actually yeah. It's called Los Gatos Creek Ponds. Wow, nice. Yeah, but it sucks. How often do you get water? We don't have any water snakes here. No water snakes in California. Yeah, I don't know about you, Corn, but those lakes suck right now. We didn't all the way around it. It's pretty clear in that. Saw nothing. Yeah, it was pretty much Versona. Yeah, yeah, and I put Tito in the chest cam, so I put Tito in the chest cam, so it's two cameras full of horrible content. Yeah, that's zero fish. Well, now you tell me, Corn. Yeah, it does not have a good population of fish, that's for sure. All the way around, right by where we were, there are a few. Oh no, it's still gonna be a video. It's gonna be a hiking video. Thrown in with a few girls here and there. It was packed with people, that's for sure. There were people everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, but it's all weedy too. It is like it's weeded up and crystal clear. But then after the weir pond or the weir dam, it kind of opens up. But we didn't even go over there. We spent the whole time going around the others. There's not really much access from that side to the creek. It's all overgrown. Yeah, it's got fish in it, but even the fry, there was like very few fry. Yeah, usually when you see fry, they're like that big. You'll see like 15, 20 of them cruising together. Now there was like two or three together. That was it. It was like there wasn't even. It's like bad spawn in there because there were very few little fry around. like two or three together here and there, but usually, you see masses of the fry together. Nothing. And they put that chemical in them. That chemical to cut back on the weeds. Turns it that bluish color. They look like that just went by me. They look like toilet bowls. Yeah, it was horrible. Horrible. Saw one carp jump. Or two carp. Hey, fishing trucker. Oh, I got this, guys. Look. I think I got my mic. Good. I like tripping people out. My goal has worked. My acid trip lives. More people will stick around. Yeah, it was like 90. It was warm. We walked a lot. Probably walked as much as we did at Vasona. All right, fishing with Tanner. Go take a shower. Yeah, it was yeah, I don't know. It was new. I'd never been there. Now Corn Farts tells me there ain't no freaking fish in there. But we did stop by Bass Pro Shops, and Tito got a really good combo. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Time sensitive material. What's up, Wasabi? There's my mic. It only took 2 weeks to get here. But yeah. There's like my wired mic. Now it comes. Now it comes after I stuck Tito in the in the chesty all day with the normal, but I don't know. We'll see how it ends up. And then he went off like he kept leaving me to go like film stuff. It's like I'm the one doing all the commentary here. Now he's taking off and doing commentary everywhere with the camera. Like, oh yeah, guys, look at the creek down there. The creek's. I'm like, oh, thank you, Captain. Woohoo! Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's what I said. He he starts doing all the commentary on his own with the camera. I hear him talking to the camera and telling people, "Hey guys, look at this. Hey guys, look at that. Hey, Kill Hut, how's it going?" Captain just came in here with a banger. He got a kayak. I don't like kayaks though. I'm not a big kayak fan. I don't think Captain is either. Don't you not like? Don't you not like kayaks either, Captain? I can't stand them. Damn, Captain. You just make me feel better for the horrible day I spent. 2 cameras. 2 cameras all day, finally. With, I don't think I like a kayak, but I want to try one. I don't like fishing sitting down. Love those kind of days. I got a 2-man bass boat. Comes Monday. Wow. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the. I don't know. What is it a pedal one? Yeah, I said the rowing. How can they get blown around so easy? I know you could have. I know you can kind of stand up in them, but trying to stand up with them is a pain in the ass. Yeah, he got a trout today. Who catches a trout in the middle of summer? Well, I did get these from Tito. Yeah. Exactly. Or the pedal ones. The pedal ones seem easy. Oh no, but you have your sciatic, so pedaling probably wouldn't be good. I just don't like them. They get blown around a lot, and the fish pull you around. I knew it, Captain. Yeah, like the fish will pull you around in it. I don't know. I'm too spoiled of being on $100,000 bass boats when I'm in a boat, or Chris's, but that one's almost as bad as a kayak. Drop shot on the sink. Yeah, yeah, but it's all right. It's better if you have the lean pole. You know, on the bass boat, you can put up the tall one that you can just lean on or sit on like a bar stool thing. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I can't. Of course, I don't know. Most of the bass boats I'm on, uh, they'll give you a seat if you ask for one, but I never ask for one. I just deal with it. Sometimes I'll sit down. Wait, I don't think I've been next to a bass boat, let alone on one. Yeah. Yeah. You got to kind of get used to. You got to kind of get used to the 70 miles an hour, and you got to get used to uh, going over chop. Oh yeah, one of the little plastic ones, kind of like Chris's, but with the bass seats. I've seen those. Yeah, it's when you're going through basically 2 foot waves, but they're doing like 65 miles an hour through them. Do, 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 do. Hauling ass. Or when they make the really sharp turns and the boat stays like completely flat, like on rails. Hit the 1K? All right. We got another giveaway coming, guys. Now we got my giveaway, Captain's giveaway, and we're going to have a huge Kill Hut giveaway. Alrighty. No, you got a two little, one of those little, is it called a Bass Buddy? Yeah, you got to give away like a GoPro. You got to give away a reel. You got to basically one up me and Captain. Because you're the third one in a row. Well, I haven't even hit mine yet, but I already had mine planned. Yeah, well, you got to keep up with us, right? Right, Captain? Go big or go home. Yeah, I don't know. Since I had my bass boat that was like a 16-foot center console, steering wheel, seat, stable, did like 55. I just don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I need one with nice like decks and able to walk on it without it like, you know, tipping too much. And I don't mind just so it does like 55, 60. That's cool. Don't need it. Don't need the 70, 75 thing. 50 on a boat, it feels like you're doing 70. You do 75 and yeah, it like it's hard to keep your head straight because the wind is so strong at 75 miles an hour. Yeah, it's like your whole cheeks are like one of those gyro things when they do the teaching the astronauts get the G forces going. Yeah, I have video of my very first tournament one. I put my arm up to film. Put my right arm up to film at 75 miles an hour and chop. And I was too scared to try and take my arm down as I thought I was going to blow the camera out. So I had to hold it in place for like the whole like 8-minute run. I, I thought it was going to pull my freaking shoulder out of joint. Made for some good footage and really shows you how like bumpy and feels like you're on cement. Yeah, most of them don't go that fast. I've done 75. Yeah, I think most of the Rangers and all those, they top around like 75, 75, 78. If you really want to go full out. Oh, and they turn on a freaking dime. They turn and they're totally flat when they turn. It's the weirdest thing. Like, it's, it's like they're on a rail. It's like they turn it and the whole boat doesn't even freaking tilt. It just looks flat as you're turning. Because the way that they have it set, so the water on the outside is pushing up against it, and yeah, they're just completely flat, even on a really sharp turn. And they go through wakes really well too. The scariest part is when you're behind somebody. The pros are going and they get up kind of close behind them, and then they go over their wake, and you're going this way. But it's Jesus H freaking Christ. Yeah, it's almost 4th of July, guys. Did you hear that? That was a big ass freaking firework. Yeah, but when you go over and they just go, and then they're back straight, but you think when you do it, you're gonna just freaking like lose control and flip over. Yeah, you heard that one. We saw a bunch on the way. We saw a bunch like Castroville people shot off a bunch of them. I don't know what that one was. That one was big. Fishing, I plan. Yeah, that was big. Whatever the hell that was. And like right behind my house. All right, Salty Salt 7. Yeah, that was pretty damn loud. It was right somebody right behind us. Well, now I get to test this thing, guys. I get to test my GoPro mic. It might get up, but it'll fit on the GoPro. So, yeah. I got something to play with. Again. I'm playing with it, and I'm playing with it. Yeah, it sucks it didn't come earlier. Didn't come this morning, so I could have, like, tried it out with Tito. Yeah, but I said that also fits my GoPro. Fits the 3 and the 4. Hey, JDS. Yeah, I'm sure that firework must have sounded really... No. Tito did find a swim bait today, though. He found a little hard, like 5-jointed little bluegill swim bait. I don't know what brand it is, but it was hanging in a tree. And he was able to get it out. Plundering away. Yeah, he goes, oh, leave that swim bait up there. I'm like, yeah, but how are you going to get that? I guess he threw his line around it, but he got it down. JDS, a.k.a. Corn Farts. Hey, Bait the Hook came in. Oh, did I tell you that Grant was in on Tuesday? I don't know if I told you that, Bait the Hook. I don't know if you've been in, but yeah, Grant came in on Tuesday. All-nighter. Nice. Well, I had an all-dayer. An all-dayer of... Yeah. It's basically a hiking video that I filmed today. A hiking video around a body of water. That's pretty much what I filmed today. Let's go hiking with CCB. Playing Call of Duty all night. Nice. No, yeah, it was like... It was a grind today. Kind of like the Vasona one. And coincidentally, 2 miles away from Vasona. Just down the street. Kitchen remodeling. Making room for those giant tomatoes. Yeah. So, Captain, how are those other tomato growing videos doing? You said you watched his and now you get all these, like, recommendations for tomato growing. It's like, watch one video and suddenly all kinds of videos like it show up. Ooh, 14 and 10. JCT, what is up? I know, but they all show up. You're like, well, I just watched one. Why are they all showing up in my recommendeds? I only wanted to watch one. Hit the likes. I'm 15 and 10. That's cool. You guys saw this little thing, right? Ooh, that thing's got a big thing on it. Look how big that is. Big. I know, that's what she said, but... Oh my God, it's huge. That's a really good... Ooh, and that's how big the mic is. Nice. That's a pretty big lapel mic. I like that. Yeah, I thought it was going to be way soft, but it's like... That's squeezing it. So the mic itself is actually like that big. And it doesn't go down much at top. Huh, my other ones are like little. My wireless one's like only like that big. And it plugs into the USB thingy. Well, that's keen. Lapel mic. It's a lot better than the original. The sound quality is supposed to be a lot better than the original. Yeah, I don't know. It was only $9.90, so we'll see how it works. But it's got to be better than the stupid original mics on those things. And when you have one of these on, well, that thing fell like, I didn't even try to put it back in place, and it fell exactly in place. How funny, I didn't even put it in there. It went back in there. I just laid it on it. How weird. Yeah, but see, this way, back rows, when you touch your camera and that, you don't hear it. This fits on my GoPro and it fits on the Get Up. I don't. I said I didn't say I don't like kayaks. I just don't like being in kayaks. Yeah, the reason is because if you hit the GoPro or whatever, then your audio doesn't go out. That's the only thing I don't like. Like, I've been playing with mine, and every time I hit it, you hear it. Every time you touch it or brush against it, it's like the people in the kayak, and you hear it when they're rowing, and all you hear is like, or they just have their external mic in a very bad place. Ah. He agreed on some of my baits. He likes some of my baits. Yeah, but Tito got the Carbolite. Just so complete film crew failure around. Yeah, that's coming. Then I'd be like the Guggen Squad. Or Scott Martin. I mean, a complete film crew. Well, you have to be wired with those, too. You gotta be wired with them, usually. I usually got the wireless mic system set up. On most of those when you have a film crew. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how it's going to sound. It said that it greatly, greatly increases. Got an arsenal of gadgets. Well, yeah. I tried what? One round red, full moon, kayaks, water temps. We don't agree on anything. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it has the stats. 20 to 200 kilohertz. Unfortunately, five volt, 10 volt, what? This thing's gonna really take from the friggin'. It's really gonna take from the battery though. It's definitely gonna shorten battery life. Hey, Billy YT, what is up? You made it. Can't afford honey cake. And then I'd probably buy the wrong one. Oh no, I just said I said if I get another boat, I'm getting a bass boat. Once you go black, you can never go back. Fishing trucker, sea watch flare. Yeah. I say he's a better farmer than he was a fisherman. I actually like him as a farmer. I never liked him as a fisherman, but I like him as a farmer. He's gotten pretty heavy set now too. He's getting a little chubby. I ended up buying a left-handed. No, it's just they're so nice. Like I had that little aluminum one at Pinot, and I just freaking I hated it. It was so hard to control, so hard to keep yourself in place. I mean, a lot of it's all about positioning when you're on a boat. But it's not just yeah, well, it's not like your yacht you have, Captain. No, you can get one of those like blue like things that go over the top of them. Well, the captain bought the two-piece rod. And it's funny, I thought of you because I wanted him to get the tourney special today at Bass Pro Shops, and he got the Carbolite, um, but he almost got the two piece. He finally realized it. He's like, "Oh, this one's nice. Yeah, I think I'll go for this one." And he goes, "Oh, it's two piece." I went, "Don't pull a captain." Yeah, they get in the way. They do done get in the way. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Well, so's the Delta. You know how many lower engines I've seen torn off boats in the 10 years that I did that I did FLW at the Delta? I think almost every year somebody took out their lower unit. What it is, there's a lot of people that own the property around the Delta and they don't like the bass boats going down their canals. So they were dropping in like engine blocks and stuff. So, yeah, in the shallow spots in some of the places they would drop in big engine blocks. So you hit one of those on plane and it just shears your lower unit straight off your boat. Just like clean off. I probably saw it at least like 10 times when I was doing it. You just leave a comment on the original video. Leave a comment and a like on the original video. You're already a subscriber, but yeah. Actually, it doesn't even take you out. I mean, it's kind of a jolt to that, but you're in the seats, and it doesn't. Yeah, it's just like a speed bump kind of thing. It doesn't hardly stop you at all. It's just cool, and you're like, what the hell? And all of a sudden, you have no power. Yeah, it's wicked, wicked hit. around cubby cabin fits it. No, I'm getting one that's designed for fishing. It's gonna have the decks. It's gonna have decks. I'm gonna take viewers out all the time in the back deck. These reefs stop you. Yeah, they're 2 inches deep. Yeah, yeah. Well, I had a guy almost throw me over the front of his boat. He almost threw me over because I told him there's a branch that sticks out up here that's not far under the water. He had his trolling motor on high, and I was sitting in the front, and we smacked it, and it threw me to the front, and I had to grab the thing before I went over. Oh, the open ones? Do they have fishing decks in the front and the back? I thought you meant like a completely, totally covered cabin. I thought you meant a boat with like a cabin and you can walk down underneath. Are you talking about the ones that have the cabin thing, but they have the front deck with a trolling motor? I don't know what walk around cubby cabins are. Yeah, I know. A vroom vroom car. A vroom vroom car. I don't know. I do know that engines for boats cost about 20,000. Did you guys know that's how much the engines cost on those boats? Has both full cabin with galley and restrooms and beds. Also platforms from the rear. Oh, you mean like an ocean? Okay, you mean like an ocean one. A big boat. Yeah. I have a girl for you. You need a girl, I have one. I have one laying around. Do I have to blow her up every night? Because I already have one of those. Just kidding. Yeah, that's what I said about it. Yeah, that's what I said. A big, yeah. No, he's talking about the ones that have the back. They're like the ocean ones. They're called the cubby cabins. Oh, wait, I just said I didn't know what it was, but somehow I know they're called cubby cabins now. Give you the range. Yeah, but I just said those. That's why I said the engines for the bass boats cost like $20,000. $25,000 just for the engine on those boats. That's why everybody fixes them when they break and doesn't buy a new engine. It's easier to buy it as a complete package than it is to upgrade. Yeah, I didn't think they cost that much. I was shocked. A walk around cubby cabin. A walk around cubby cabin. They're like Dexter's when he dumps bodies. Yes. Yeah. No front deck. Only a back deck. Cuddy, not cubby. Cuddy. Cuddy, not cubby. Tomato, tomato. Buddy cabin. Yeah, that's what I call them. Come on, buddies, get in my cabin boat. Let's go cabin boating. A friend said he was going to build something on his for the winter. $100 per horsepower. Yeah, they're 250 horse. Yeah, they're nice. They're fast. Can't believe Evinrude quit making them though. They already cut out Johnson. Now they're not making Evinrudes. I don't. Yeah, but I only know bass boats, Captain. I don't know cuddy, cubby, buddy cabin boats. I'm into the lean, mean fishing machines. That's all I know about. I don't even like ski boats or wake boats. 400 on it? I didn't think they made a 400. Biggest I've seen is 300. That's the biggest I've seen. I think the Black Max was like 300. No, I only like bass boats. A 14-foot with a 300 on it. Yeah, that would. Yeah, maybe a 30 on it. I think that would weigh a little bit more than the boat itself. I don't even know how much those engines weigh. Oh, you're eating and I'm burping? Sorry. I don't think they fit on there. They don't fit on there legally, I know that. Well, it's not legal. I don't know if you know, Tanner, but there is a legal size limit that you can put on a boat. And yeah, I think you can get fined if you go over it. It's a 15. What's the Mercury Pro SX? Starts at like 115. 400. That's a big engine. I've seen a 300. I saw an old school 300 Black Max, and that thing was huge. This was the old days. Now they're a lot smaller. Yeah. Well, in tournaments, you can't, it's 25 horse, yeah. Yeah, and you can get a ticket for it. Yeah, the Bass, what, FLW and Bass, the limit is 250. You can't have over 250 horsepower on the pro tours. They don't allow bigger engines than that. It's FYI, in case any of you are going to go pro. I mean, like a cigar boat. I've seen some of the cigar boats that have that much. The 80-foot cigar boats. They used to run those at Nacimiento. All right, Kill Hut. Thanks for coming in. He beefed up his transom. But that's still too heavy. Would you have to put like 500 pounds in the front of the boat? A 300 horse would it would sink that thing. Unless it was like a deep V, deep V Boston whaler or something. I'm not talking about beefing up your transom. I'm talking about the physical weight of it would sink the back end. It's too heavy. How much do those things weigh? Oh, this was an outboard? Oh. Yeah, the cigar boats have an inboard. Yeah, I don't even think it would sink. It'd be just like. You steer from the nose of the boat. I just think it would sink it. Or this, or if you didn't have enough weight in the front to counter it, it would sink it. I think, how much, those 14-foot boats, what are they rated for? 300 pounds? Isn't that like maximum capacity inside them? It's like 300? Factory. I thought Mercury at one point made one that was 500, but I think it was 300. I could check the picture, you can see it. Yeah, so how the hell could you put an engine that weighs that in it? On it? How'd you put like a 200, 300 pound engine on a boat like that? Yeah, well, isn't that about what those freaking engines weigh? It gotta be at least a 300 horse. It's gotta be at least 300 pounds. They're not light. I know the 250s aren't light. Those things are pretty damn big. What's a deep V? It's a deep V, isn't it? The taller the hull, the more it'll hold. Rattle trap. Oh, your little bass boat is ready for 600? Wow. No, the little aluminum boats aren't rated for that much. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Mine was rated for, I had a little 11-foot boat. And I put I put a 15 horse long shaft on it. Curtis need to talk to you. What's that? And yeah, that thing sat pretty darn low in the back with that weight on it because it was a long shaft. It was meant for like a trolling, maybe a trolling on a ocean boat, so it needed a long shaft. It was only 25 horse. And yeah, it really, it was pretty heavy with that extended shaft. And it was only a 15 horse engine. I don't know. I think that's too much for a 14-foot aluminum boat. Captain's on Google again. Captain's on Google researching big engines. Yeah, my 16-foot bass boat had a 55 horse engine on it, a 55 Evinrude on it, and it was only 16 foot, but it was fiberglass. Yeah, he was referring to the weight capacity. It should be on there somewhere. It's usually stamped in it, or it's on a little plaque somewhere on the boat. I think they all have to have them. It's either a little riveted in little plaque, or it's stamped into the aluminum. And it tells you, usually tells you the horsepower capacity and the weight capacity. I know. I think you're on it right now. He's in the background. No, I'd just like to get an older. I'd really like one of those little teeny skeeters they used to make. Who's the bass? Any tips? I know nothing about snakeheads. I know they're in a lot of lakes that have good bass in them, so I don't know if they run them out or they're just annoying. Because they like to eat a lot of the lures that you fish for bass. But I don't know if they run them out. I think they live pretty synonymically or compatibility. I think they hang. They're cool with each other. I think most people be worried about Asian carp. Yeah, yeah. If you're worried about that, just kill it. But if there's thousands of them in there, there's nothing you can do. If they're established, there's nothing you can do. You're not going to be able to get rid of one species like that. I mean, they could just kill the whole lake off and start over. They could kill off the whole lake and then start over, because you're not going to be able to kill one species off. It don't work like that. 6 pounds, nice. Yeah, you can't just yeah. You actually have to like kill the lake. Well, we don't have them here. We did have the rattlesnake at Nazi. I didn't get a shot of it. Yeah, if they're in there. There's nothing you can do. I said I'm a wildlife biologist. I'd agree in that. Ain't nothing you're gonna be able to do if they're established in there. Kept in your lake drains Monday. Yeah, that's like when I went into a friggin' Pinot and tried to electroshock the carp. They killed off like, yeah, they're pretty synonymous with each other. I mean, it's symbiotic. I don't think they hurt each other. Yes, they pull the cork on Mondays. Yeah, that's why I always catch his bass, because they drain the lake on Monday, they fill it up on Tuesday, they put new bass in. And those bass have never seen lures, Tanner. So he catches a bunch, and then Monday they drain it, Tuesday they fill it, put more bass in. So, so yeah, that's why he always catches fish. Because they constantly just drain it, put new ones in, drain it, put new ones in. Yeah, Monday night they have a fish fry for the community that lives around the lake. So, yeah, they drain it, take all the bass in, cut them, they have a big barbecue. And, yeah, then they fill it back up, and then he's able to fish for the rest of the week. Haven't you noticed he never fishes on Mondays? There's a reason. There's no water in the lake on Mondays. He lives in a very, very posh neighborhood. That's affecting the bass fishermen, not the bass. You said baits, right? Yeah, but they're just a natural competitor. They won't clean them out. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just makes it just yeah, it just makes the bass be more aggressive. Bass are pretty damn aggressive. I know snakeheads are too, but I don't know if you've noticed, but bass are a pretty damn good competitive predator. I don't think there's much that will push them out of their place. Snakeheads eat everything. They eat all the same stuff. Do some before and after of the lake. Nice. They drained El Estero once, but that was way back in '84. Yeah. If it has any sort of creek or anything, you get a lot of siltation in there. Shallows. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let me go around and try to find it in all that mucky bottom. So they are draining it on Monday? Nice. Are they going to collect the fish or just let them go or kill them? Do they collect them? Do they collect them and put them in tanks or do they put them in like pools? Yeah, do it before they start dredging though. Why do they have to drain it to dredge it? A lot of them could do the dredging in that without draining it. Hey, DMF Fishing, how's it going? Oh, okay, because they do a lot of them without draining them. They put the, the backhoes and stuff in that on a barge float thing, and they put it out in the lake, and they can dig it out, and then tell the way they took the island out of Pino. But I've seen a lot of them that'll do that instead of draining it and El Estero, they drain it completely, and they take out like 20,000 tons of muck and shit out of there. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, just driving the backhoe right in. Yeah, yeah, that's what you do if you yeah. That's what you do if you drain it. But you know, it's kind of like when they dredge a channel in the ocean for the boats to go in and out of the harbor and that. They don't drain the ocean. They don't drain the ocean. They just dredge it with the ocean water still there. Nope. We're just driving them there backhoe straight in. It has a weir, not an overflow family style. See, a lot of people don't know what a weir dam is. I just said the creek I was at today, it has a weir dam. Although in the intro, I think it called it a weir pond. It just backs it up and it flows over the top of it, right? Isn't that what most weir dams are? It just flows over them and then down into the creek on the backside. Yeah, when you get that raw mud. It's in that dangerous area. Yes, that's a weir. Did you catch anything? Me? No. I pretty much made a hiking video today. What the heck is a weir? Yeah, no, it's just a. You'll see one. You'll see one in my video I'm putting up. The one I just did today, because I go over and show the weir dam. I show the weir dam in the creek. A lot of them in the creeks and that are just. Well, some of them are cement or they're just steel. All right, Tanner. What the heck is a weir? Some of them are metal. Some are just cement, but it just flows over it. Just enough to create a pool behind it. I said they're usually in rivers or creeks. Actually, that one I showed when we went to the spillway. Remember that little cement one that was there with the little kind of thing in the middle, a thin one? That's pretty much a weir dam. Weirdly sweet. Does who have a backyard? Do I have a backyard? Yeah, but it's on the back side of the house. If that makes any sense. I film videos and I'm on a table out. That's the backyard. Some of my videos where I film at that table. Table with the chair. That's the backyard. Also have a cool little shed out there, but it's too full of crap right now. I'd like to make it into a really cool, like, fishing studio. I went fishing like I was a damn sucker. Well, at least you caught something today. Yep. Yeah, I know. And guess what? Guess what, Backroads? We have 2 side yards, too. And guess where they are? Yeah, you guessed it. One's on this side of the house, and the other one's on that side of the house. And we have a front yard, too. We have all 4 yards at this house. We just don't have a lake in the backyard, like Captain. I have a yard boat. We. Oh, I live at my parents' house. That's why I say we. The backyards, I've showed you guys the backyard. I've been out there before. Also remember that the back deck that I filmed at one time when I showed the ocean? We can see the ocean from our back deck, actually. No, I was talking about Captain. We do have one area in our house that has 14-foot ceilings. No, there is one little section where you go up the stairs to the upstairs bedroom, my parents' bedroom. I have to show you guys that sometime. It's like their bedroom that they built on the top of this house is like the size of most studio apartments. It's got a big jacuzzi bathtub, a huge like walk-in shower that you can fit like 20 people in. It's got a fireplace. It's got a whole walk-through closet. It's got the back. It's got a sliding door with a back deck on it, but only 8-foot ceilings. But where the stairs are to the top, it's about 14 foot. I walk by it all the time. Who's fireplace in the shower? No, it's right. It separates the shower or the bathroom and shower area from the bedroom. It's huge. It's like, yeah, he has a lake in his backyard. It's the one he always fishes on. It's more of a pond. But for realtor sakes, it's a lake. Right, Captain? I tell you to go on Google and check it out, but his house is invisible. Oh yeah, dude, I turned that thing into a pond. What are you thinking about? It's not in my backyard. And it's a lake pond. It's a community pond, right? It's a community lake pond. Heck yeah, I'd have fish in that thing by now. I used to put fish in our swimming pool that we had in our backyard when I lived in Pomona. I put bass in there. I put catfish in there. I'd put big bluegill in there. Just to see how long they live before the chlorine killed them. Oddly enough, they'd last for a couple days. Yeah, I used to put them in there. They would live for, I think, a couple days. I wouldn't tell my mom. Narrows it down even more. Yeah, exactly. Housing associate, yeah. What about little blow-up ones for the kids? Are those allowed? I remember my uncle Jim and Jody and that, they had a big pool. They had one of the big pool, and it had a big cover over it too. But it was one of the, and you walk up and went in, it was like 5 feet deep or something. Nope, no air pools either. What about slip and slides? Can you get away with a slip and slide? Any slip and slides allowed? All right, DMF fishing. Sorry, we're on abstract talk again. Exactly. It doesn't violate the rules. I dug a hole. It's underground. There's nothing in the rules about that. What about a blow up pool on your like deck? Do you have a deck, a 2-story deck? Damn, man, you got strict rules in your freaking housing association. Probably no mobile homes and no campers in the driveway. Pretty sure that's a rule, right? No campers or RVs in the driveway. See, there you go. They didn't say anything about having it on the deck. Only nothing about having it in the yard. Is that a rule though? No RVs. No RVs or campers in the driveway. I've seen ones where that's a rule in a community setting. Fishing trucker. I have a river in the backyard. Is it a river, a stream, or a pond? No campers, boats, or RVs can be parked, but must be passed. No RVs can be parked, but must be past the back of the house. Oh, so you can put them, you can park them, but they can't be visible. They can't be visible. We can't see them. We don't want to look like one of those trailer trash neighborhoods. No floaties, no blow up pools. Can you have like one of those wiggle wart like? Can you have one of those like wiggle things on the hose for the kids in the front yard to play with, or is that outlawed too? You can't have shit. Well, yeah, that's obvious. You don't want to look like a trashy neighborhood. Lawnmowers have to be kept in the garage. You can't even leave the lawnmower out in the yard. So no greenhouses. No outbuildings. Drill trash, so this is tough. I know. What about barbecues? Can you have any barbecues visible? You said you have a fireplace on your porch, but can you have outside barbecues? Can you have barbecues? I'm sure you can't even have barbecues outside. Or you can a grill. You can't have a barbecue. You can have a grill. I got it. That's funny. It's got to be a grill. It cannot be a barbecue. Trashy neighborhoods have barbecues. Upper end neighborhoods have grills. All right, Billy. It's just yeah. Just throw your invisible cloak over everything you have outside, and they won't even see it, Captain. There we go. So, that's why I said though it's got to be built in. It can't be just like an on wheels rollout. Like it's got to be high end. What about your grass? How high can your grass get before you have to cut it? Do they have rules about that? Grass must be cut every 2 weeks. What about trees? How tall can your trees be? Your trees are not allowed to. I've been, I have one on wheels roll out. Those are fine. Your trees cannot cast shade on your neighbor's property more than 3 feet. Shrubs are allowed, no trees over 6 feet. Guess grass rules. That's funny. I thought they'd make everybody put in like AstroTurf or fake grass so it all looks perfect. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. So you can only have a 5 foot fence, huh? Is that what you said? 3 foot in the front, 5 foot in the back? That's pretty strict. So what are there fines? Is that what a notice is? Do you get a notice and then you get fined? Oh, 5'5". All right. That's a big difference, yes. 5 foot's a little too low, but 5'5", that's almost my height. Yeah, it would come like here on me. Just be high enough that people next door can look over your fence. That's nice. Your neighbors always want to know what you're doing, so you don't want a fence too high they can't see it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they do. They're a pain in the freaking ass. But you got a lake pond in the backyard, so who's complaining? And your house is invisible on Google. Oh yeah, oh, of course. You're living there, you gotta live by their rules. Exactly. Can you have a barbed wire fence? You probably can't have a chain link fence, can you? I've been out shopping since we moved in. Acorn. That's funny. No, the reason I know about that, if Captain was kind of funny, is because remember I did that video and I did it because from the punked intro. Well, the punked one I downloaded was Jessica Simpson, and they had Dax come in with a mobile home and park it by their house because he wanted to live there, and the HOA guy and said came down and was and like they had him come down pretending to be the housing association guy, saying you can't have that mobile home here. We had a mobile home. They had chairs outside. They had a grill. They were barbecuing. They had a trailer with other stuff on it. But yeah, he lived in a place where they had a housing association. So yeah, that's funny you said that. That's why I said probably no campers or trailers invisible in front of the house. Because it was on that punked I downloaded. That was a good one, by the way. Nick whoever, which was one of the Backstreet Boys, I guess. Remember when Jessica? I don't know if she's still married to him, but yeah, it was supposedly her like distant cousin that she never met. And while they were gone, he came in and parked his trailer in his mobile home and was asking if they could run some electrical wires out there and a hose, and he just needed like 3 or 4 months to get back on his feet, and it was hilarious. Wow. Wow. You can't have this on our street. It's too heavy. Nothing over 5,000 pounds. Get this 18-wheeler out of here. Eating goldfish, I ran out of cheese balls. Well, I have something to play with tomorrow now. I get to play with the audio on my new mic. See how that goes. That'd be a lot of fun. I'll try it on both. I think else, and then walked away. What? Having the car delivered. Why? Nothing else. He said it. I think else. It's like, think you just bought the 18-wheeler and you're just gonna park it there? It's my new travel semi. I'm just just keep it here for moving my cars around. Does he live like down the block? Yeah, I think you two live in different neighborhoods, Backroads and Captain. Remember, Backroads, he has 14-foot ceilings. 14-foot ceilings. That's where he lives. He was checking out. He lives across the street from me. Is he grandfathered in? His house was there before they built the community around him and he wouldn't sell. But like, find them. We're just going to build all this around you. Fine, then. Just so I get to go out and fish the ponds, I'm good. Yeah, he's that one guy that wouldn't sell. That sounds like Backroads. A panic attack in House of Sword. What if you saw a cobweb up there? Damn it. How in the hell am I going to get that cobweb out of there? That's freaking 14 feet up. Damn. Oh well. Who looks up there anyway? Who looks 14 feet up? Do you have an indoor basketball hoop? That's the only thing think would be really fun about having 14-foot ceilings would be having an indoor basketball hoop. I'd have it just because I had 14-foot ceilings. I'd have a professional oh, there you go. That's a way around it, huh? So how does that work? So it's privately owned where you are? Regulation size basketball. Yeah, that's that'd be the reason I'd have 14-foot ceilings. Hate it when they're low because you have to you want the high arc. You don't have to try to shoot flat. It's always a better shot if you get the arc on it. They have a professional Nerf indoor basketball court. Yeah, so is that the way it works? It's like they built them all. They own the property. They built them all. There's a good thing though. I just told you a good way to get the cobwebs out, Captain. A Nerf ball. Yeah, one guy. All right. Now, did they build the houses? Did they build the houses, or did they let people build on the lots? Or was it all already built, all of them built by him? Yeah, but the Nerf balls work really well. Oh, they're individually okay. You're like ice fishing. Yeah, but I used to have fun. It's more fun with a ball though. Even in the 8-foot ceilings. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I used to just actually no, I did it. You know where I used it in my store I had. In my store I had, Captain. It had like 14-foot ceilings, and it had a bunch of cobwebs up there. Yeah, and I got a Nerf, one of the bigger Nerf balls, and that's what I used to get all the cobwebs. It was a lot of fun. They stick to them really well, and I would just throw it like bouncing through the corner and all that, and like it had like beams in it, and yeah, that was the fun part. Was going in there with the Nerf ball and getting all the damn cobwebs off of the 14-foot ceilings. The space had been sitting empty for a while before I got it, so there were a lot of cobwebs up in the top, and that was how I got them all down. Oh, use the ball though, dude. It's so fun. It becomes a sport. It's like, ooh, I got that whole web. Yeah, I cleaned out mine. I had like old ones, like they were all like dark, and they've been there for a long time. Um, yeah, but it sticks to it really well. And then you just like pull them all off the ball, and you just it's like, what are you doing throwing that ball around, honey? Look up. Oh my God, you got rid of all the cobwebs? That's great. You'll have to, yeah, put them in the garage and then have at it. She might have fun doing it too. Yeah, it's really fun. I'm telling you. It's a new sport. Professional cobweb ball eliminator. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's more fun than a T-shirt or throwing something else in there. Yeah, it's fun. That's what I said. And if it hits something on the way down, they're so light. It doesn't. I mean, if it hits a lamp or something like that, it doesn't knock anything over. cobwebs stick to it like crazy though, man. It's like Velcro. If you're really good, you can take down a web and bring the spider with it. That's always good. That's like bonus points if you can get the spider along with the web. Turn it into a whole game. Pneumatic potato gun. Yeah, but I use the bigger ones because you have the little Nerfs. Yeah, you should try it though. Go get one of the bigger ones. You need the ones that have like that are spongy, not the ones that have like the coating on them. The spongier ones, but they come like they come in different sizes. But yeah, you could though. You might be able to squish it down and stick it in a potato gun and go shooting for webs. Yeah, you can even have it. You know, you and your wife, you could have a competition. Like, how many throws does it take to get the whole web? You know, that kind of thing. If you miss the web, you have to take a shot. Turn it into a drinking game. That's very strong. No, he's gonna put the Nerf ball in it. It won't. Yeah. It don't damage anything. Mailman Shepherd. He'll chase the mailman, but he won't chase the ball. Smart dog. He only likes mailmen. Who wants to chase a ball? They don't run and scream as much as mailmen. It's a great student. It's educational. We learned how much boats cost. We learned how much outboards weigh. We learned the capacity of boats as far as how many pounds you can put in them. We learned about housing associations, do's and don'ts. You're right, Tanner. This has been a very abstractly educational, random educational stream tonight. A milkman shepherd. Yeah, that is a good way to get cobwebs out there, I'm telling you. I had a lot of fun doing that in my store. We had a thing called garbage ball too. That was kind of fun. I had a garbage can when I was in. I had this garbage can in my store, and I found this Nerf basketball in the street, and it fit in a trash can, but it was like only that much room around it. Like it had to be like a perfect shot. And yeah, we came up and we called it garbage ball, and I even took it to my friend's store because he had high ceilings, and we were learning to do bank shots with it, like way up off the wall and over and into the. I mean, yeah, and then we bet. We would have bets about it. And he wonders what this. And he wonders why the store failed. It wasn't my store. We did that in his store. Because he came to my store. Yeah. No, yeah. He came to my store and he saw it, and he liked to play basketball. He like loved basketball. He was from Jamaica. He was a white guy, but he was from Jamaica. And yeah, he loved basketball. And I showed him this. I'm like, oh, check this out. And he came to my store, and I'd be on the street, and I had it inside the door, and you had to kind of shoot low at it. And he's all like, dude, let's take it to my store. I got the big ceilings. And then it turned into betting. Like you had 10 shots and how many you could make. It was like a buck around and all this other. Yeah, yeah. That's how we entertained ourselves in San Francisco, playing garbage ball, as we called it. I'd come into his store to say hi to him. He goes, "Dude, it's dead. Can we play garbage ball?" I'm like, "All right, well, all right. I'll close my store for about an hour." Or he was open later than me, so I'm like, all right, well, after I close, I'll bring and we'll play garbage ball. It was fun. One night we got into shooting they had the pellet guns, like the hard little pellet guns. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we had one of those. We had one of those nights too. Like we're we're all running around in the store. He had like a center thing you could hide behind in that, and everybody's like running around, like popping up and shooting. And he's open for business, so we're like doing. If somebody walked in like a customer, we're all yeah, the soft air guns, and we're all like, we'd have to like stop, wait for them to shop and that, and the second they leave, we'd all start shooting each other again. We're like, what happens if some like passerby goes by and just sees these people with rifles and stuff inside a store? We're gonna have a million cops outside. Yeah, yeah, that was a fun place. It was called Babylon Fallen. It was a right winged like graffiti artist, rebels, all that sort of theme bookstore called Babylon Fallen. Had some pretty famous people in there. You had famous speakers come in. You had one guy that was in the Black Panthers that became an activist. He came in. All right, Captain. Did you send me an intro? Is that what you're talking about? Anyways, it doubles in size every day. Oh. All right, Captain. No, not an intro. Okay. Yeah, I check them. I always check it every night. When I get done here and I get done with my drinking, I go inside and I check my email and my comments on YouTube. And I usually check them in the morning. So, yeah, I'll check the email. Okay. I will check it. I'm just happy I get to play with this tomorrow. I get to play with that tomorrow. Yeah, now that I can have I have nice audio for my hiking videos. I can have good audio hiking with CCB. We hike around many bodies of water. We try to fish, but we don't catch shit. But it's a great hike with beautiful views and vistas. Come join us. That's what it seems like lately after Persona and this one. Hiking with CCB. Lakes to not fish. Not. I have nothing against them. A lot of people love them. You'll get a lot more views too. Those freaking kayak videos, people that fish from the kayaks, they're like, it's a huge community for videos. Everyone's been telling me to get one. I'm like, A, I don't like being in them. I just feel scared. I feel like I'm going to tip over. And B, all the lakes you see me fish from shore, you can't put a kayak on them. No boats at all. They all think these lakes that I can just, oh, well, the ramp's closed. Just slip a kayak in there. No, you can't. I just don't like them personally. I'm scared of them. I'm just personally scared of them. I just feel like I'm going to fall over. They feel unsafe to me. I have nothing against people. I have tons of friends that are out in their kayaks all the time and pin on that. I just can't fish from them. So it may be one and done. I'm telling you, I just don't like it. It's just a lake, but if you do tip over to like to get back in and like setting the hook and whoa, whoa. That's like Lunker's TV. He hates kayaks too. Yeah, but here you can't. Like it's a huge fine here, Tanner. I'm talking. I don't know, probably thousands of dollars. Yeah, I'm talking thousands of dollars though. If you get caught with a watercraft in these lakes, because everything has to be inspected for the mussel. That's why they're closed because they don't have a mussel inspection. So, uh, I don't know. I just don't. I've been in one, and I don't even like Chris's boat. Like he stands up in it, and that thing is like a cork. I mean, he sets the hook, and I have to grab the side because that thing like it's seriously like it's it's we call it the battle tub, but it's it's about as stable as a freaking sinker support. Yeah. No, I'm talking about and hello Doomsday. No, I'm talking about even if you put it in Uvis, if you put it in Chesbro, if you put it in Kiter Creek Lakes, even if you put it in Anderson or Coyote, if they want to write you a ticket for it, it's going to be a massive ticket. I hate seeing you smoke. Sorry. I don't condone it. I never tell anybody to start, but yeah. Someday, actually went quite a while today. You can't smoke at the lake, so I snuck one in here and there. I got a tank for sale. And now we got somebody selling fish tanks. He pops wood. Yeah, but I get that from a lot of people. Jesus, 400. It's only 450 gallon. A little tank. Biggest tank I ever owned was 100. What's yours, Backroads? What's your tank? I'm California. Basically Monterey, California. Backroads is in Texas. Yours is only 75. He has a 450-gallon tank, he'll sell you. That's big enough you could fish out of it. My filter is 100-gallon. There you go. Yeah, Tanner's in Utah. Doomsday's here. I think those are the states we're all from. I know, huh? Your old house. It's my old house. It's got weak floors. It would fall through. Been to the pier lately, Doomsday? I had a good day there the other day. I'm editing the show right now. It was a west-southwest wind. It was dead calm and no swell. And it was swell fishing. Sea lion heaven. Yeah. It smelled right for a little bit there, yeah. You get that southwest wind and all that, oh yeah. Suddenly you get that nice, perfect smell. No, I don't really play video games. Isn't it like $10 a gallon usually? Kind of like you said with $100 per horsepower for engines. I don't know. My 100-gallon tank was, well, I got it through a friend who dealt with them, but it was $100 for my 100-gallon. Because isn't it like $9.99 for a 10-gallon tank? Doesn't it go up from there? Ooh, it's acrylic. All right, never mind. Never mind. But how much does it cost, Doomsday? That was the question asked. How much do they go for? Or how much are you selling it for? Is it a bargain? Is it like $1,000? Is it $600? All right, there goes my theory of $1 per gallon. But that's glass. His is acrylic. I'm tired. See ya. All right, Tanner. How late is it there? It's midnight here. It's gotta be late there, kid. What are you doing up this late? You don't work tomorrow? Isn't it like 2 in the morning there? 1 in the morning? That's as fast as I thought. 104. Yeah, you're an hour ahead. All right. 3 a.m. there. Eastern, 3/4 inch acrylic. Wow. That's why that's why you'd let it go for 1,500. 2 a.m. here. F&G already came to see. That's a big tank. I know my 100-gallon was pretty big. It was a show tank, though. It was like, it was shorter. It's 12:05. Correctamundo. Must be on our same Pacific Standard Time. I remember that. You showed me the pictures. Remember you finally showed me all the pictures. I never knew what you got rated for. Remember you finally told me and you showed me all those beautiful tanks, by the way, guys. His setup was amazing. My 75 looked big to me when I got it. Looks tiny now. Yeah, you showed me all that. Yeah, no, mine was a show tank. I think it was like it was shorter and wider. I don't know. The friend I got it from, here's the funny thing. He lived with me. I forget his name now. He was a fisherman, bass fishing, fished with me. But his dad's the one that built that in Jurassic Park. Remember when they pull up that lagoon that's out in the front on the movie set? When you go to in Jurassic Park, his dad was the one they hired to come in and built that whole lagoon thing for him. He was into building ponds, and he built sets for movies and that with ponds and lagoons and stuff. And yeah, but so I said I want a tank for my clothing store, and so he got it for me, yeah, for $100. And then I kind of set it up at first to kind of look like a creek. It had rocks on one side that I had toads and newts on, and then I had a little bit of water with plants going into it. And I had my fish in there. There was like 5 inches of water in that. That's how I had it first, and then I moved it, and then I turned it in, and I put. Oh, here's the thing for you: 100-gallon. How many marbles? How many black marbles do you think it would take to fill the bottom of a 100-gallon tank and like cover the whole thing and have them be like sitting up like? Well, I think I bought like. I think it was like 1,000 marbles or something like that, or 500, 600 marbles, and I still couldn't get it to like to fill it. So I mixed black rocks in with them because I had all these black marbles on the bottom, and then I got glass cubes in like blue and red and green, and I had them like stuck into the bottom, and everybody thought it was a saltwater tank, but it was freshwater. But yeah, I figured, oh, okay. Probably won't take that many marbles to fill the whole bottom of a fish tank. Yeah, I finally gave up. Like, this is taking way too many. I'm just gonna buy some black rock for a lot cheaper and just fill in the cracks. Yeah, it was. I had silver dollars in there. I had some other stuff, but it was like a black and white themed tank. And I think the plants I had in it, the fake plants were like black and white, but it had all the marbles in it and these cool glass, like they look like ice cubes. Not perfect square, but kind of colored, and they were laying on the bottom, and it was in my store, it was in the back of my walkway. I had some video of it. But yeah, just the way it was set up, and like I don't know, everyone liked the way that they're like, oh my god, the color scheme. Yeah, I had those in there. I had some tetras. I had one of the Picoscamus, the catfish that kind of looks like a channel cat, the silver with the black on it. I had one of those in there. Um, yeah, some of the silver. I had the barb tetra, the silver barb tetras, and that. Yeah. No, yeah. What are those called? Yeah, I had one of the bigger ones. The ones that they kind of have the bigger head with a little bit of stuff on them. The peak, yeah, one of those, yeah, that would go up like suck onto the wall. Not the stupid little minnowy looking suckerfish, but the bigger one. And he would like eat the algae off the glass and that. Yeah, but that damn little catfish, bully nose, yeah, it does. What? Bushy, yeah, I had one of those because they get pretty much. Yeah, and I had it but that catfish, man, bad. He cleaned out. He cleaned out the other fish in there. The barred tetras that I had, because the owner of the owner of the sushi bar, he loved the tank. He would always come over and just watch the fish swim. And every once in a while, he would come over and and give me fish. And he came over to swing with all these barbed tetras, like 15 of them. Yeah, and I put them all in there, and I think within 2 weeks that catfish had eaten every single one of them. And I thought they were too big for him to get a hold of, but those things are beasts. He was only like 6 inches long, 5 inches long in that, but yeah, he actually ate them all. I was like, I'd go in and I'd be like, there's only 10 now. Yes. And that's what I said. I'm like, and I'd look at him and I'd see his fat belly and I'm like, you bastard, quit eating my fish. So I started having to get bigger fish. I put an angelfish in there and he harassed that because they're so timid. He chewed on his tails. That thing didn't last long. He beat up and killed that thing pretty quick. It was the barbed tetra, the silver dollar. Those guys. They were the only ones that were big enough to last. I know we went fish talk and everybody. Well, no, because Backroads has a tank, but we have natives in ours. That's all right. I'm getting ready to leave anyway. Gotta remember, a lot of these people are from back east and that, so they're like 2 and 3 hours ahead of us right now. We're at 12, and a lot of them are at like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. No harm, no foul. Doomsday. Yeah, I know you're a tank guy. Yeah, but I had a tank. It's I gotta find some of those old videos of my store where I show my tank. It was really funny because everybody thought it was a saltwater tank. They're like, oh my God, I always wanted to have one of those, but it's so hard to maintain. I'm like, those are all freshwater fish. They ain't saltwater. They're like, it's not? I'm like, no. It was against the wall and I had a black velvet on the back with the kind of grow light in it, the bluey, almost black lighty kind of look. Yeah, it was really cool. It was a cool tank. I ended up giving it to my friend. Yeah, it looked bitchin'. I have some pictures of it somewhere. But yeah, it was fun. Of course, I got one of the $180 like tube tanks, filters, the big one that sat underneath that did the water in. Yeah, I think it was $180 for the filter, like one of the tubed ones, like I said, and then you put the charcoal in it and then circulate. I don't know how many gallons of water or whatever. I will say this though, and this is kind of amazing about those freaking catfish, because the owner of the sushi store, the one who used to love to come over and give me fish and loved watching them, he would bring over fresh raw tuna and go, can I feed fish? Yeah, the canister filter. He's all, can I feed fish? I'm all, what do you have? And he's like this, and he had chunks of raw tuna. I swear to God, the catfish would be like just sitting on the bottom or just cruising. The sensitivity of their freaking whiskers, because I swear to God, less than a second of him, because he would drop it in the back by where the water came in. Hey, Angel, how's it going? That thing would go nuts. Like, I'm seriously, almost instantaneously when that tuna hit the water, where the water went into the stream that went into the filter, he just took off and started going all around the freaking tank to find it. I was like, I know, Angel. It's been a couple weeks, a month. We're talking fish right now. I know, but I did not. I mean, I'm seriously, dude. It was like instantaneous. I mean, I thought it might take like, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, something like that. that fresh tuna, the second it hit the water, I don't know how he knew that quick, but and he would find it all. He would go nuts to get it. He would just slam it, eat it, and do the other fish are trying to get to it. But I was like, how in the hell is he sensing that freaking quick? That is just like, it doesn't seem physically possible that he can detect it within like a second of it hitting the water. Of course, he put it in where the flow was coming in, but still, it was just amazing. Yeah, I should have got video of it. I should have taped it because I swear people would not believe me. They'd be like, "Oh no, he doesn't." I'm like, "Oh no, I got videotape. Watch this." Here's a little guy just cruising around, cruising on the bottom, just sitting there. I'm okay. Drop it in. Drop it like second he hit the water. He would just like go freaking nuts. I'm like, wow, that is just beyond belief. I also had one of my baby bass, and this is pretty amazing. My baby bass, and I only had 4 inches of water. I had a little like 3 inch bass in there, and I used to go out and catch butterflies or little moths, those little orange like butterfly moth thing. And I would lift it up and I would throw it in the tank and let it fly around, and he would notice it and he would go around, and if it came close, he would try to jump out. Well, one time it stopped about 8 inches above the water. Yeah, it was like seriously 6, 8 inches above the water. And he was like following it from under the water as it was flying around. It stopped on the glass. And I watched him. And there's only like 4 inches of water, right? And he sat there and he looked at it and he backed down to where his tail was touching the bottom. And he shot up and he actually got it off the glass, like 6, 8 inches above the water. And he actually shot up and he got it and came back down with it and ate it once he got back into the water. I was like, what? I did not know they could do that. Yeah, it was amazing. I was like, yeah, I physically watched. Like I said, he would follow it as it was flying around above under the water, and if it came down close, he would try to. But all of a sudden, yeah, he was following it and it landed, and I saw and I watched him, and I'm like, no way. Yeah, and he actually backed himself down till his tail was like touching the bottom, and then just went, and he came up 6 inches out of the water and grabbed it right off the side of the glass. I was like, no fucking way. That was amazing. I mean, in comparison to his size and the depth of the water and just the little bit of room he had to. Oh yeah, I fed him mice. I would feed my bullfrog mice. I had a big bullfrog, and I would feed him mice. That was a lot of fun. And the reality is, he would be in the tank. I would, like, I just had a little bit of water in it, like that much, in like a 10-gallon tank, and I would lift the top, and I would hold the mouse by the tail, and I would put the mouse in and just hold it by the tail, and it'd be like scraping. Yeah, and he would come up and he would grab it, but the interesting is I found out they grab it, and then what he does is he leaves it in his mouth, but he grabs it, and he would come down, he would put himself in that little bit of water, and he would just sit under the water with it in his mouth, and then you would see him like, and every time he'd do that, you'd see like the little bubbles come out of the mouse's nose. And he would basically do that, squeeze all the air out of it until it drowned, and then he would eat it. I thought they would just eat it, eat it live and all that, but no, he would grab it and he would go underwater. hold it underwater, and he would squeeze on it, and you would watch the little portal air come out of the mouse's nose, and he would wait till it was dead, and then he would eat it. I would have thought they would have eaten it, live, like just grabbed it and like. No, but he would grab it and take it underwater and drown it and then eat it. Should have got video of that too, but I never did. Yeah, it was pretty interesting that they actually took it under the water and drowned it before they ate it. Just things I experienced. See, I'm like you would have loved me back in college, Doomsday, because no, I fed up to them alive, man. I wanted to see the whole process of they kill. But yeah, I used to have like I had a in my house in college. I had a big entertainment center. Oh no, it's a bullfrog. I had all naturals except until the tank in my store. I had ones I bought, but everything else I had green sunfish, bass, all that natives, and native snakes and everything. But yeah, I had this entertainment center, and I had like I think I had like 5 tanks on it. I had a tank up here, I had a tank over here, I had a tank right here. I got another tank over there. Then I had a space that I built in for a cage, so I'd have a snake here. Some of the tanks had like fish in them. Other ones had like the bullfrog. Um, some of them had like newts and toads and stuff of them. Like one of them had like lizards in it. Yeah, it was right when you came in. It was again my TV was in it, and then all around it was tanks with fish, and had that bullfrog in one, had lizards in one, had just all kinds of all the natives, whiptail lizards. Um, I had red-legged frog for a while, which are now endangered. Um, California newts, arboreal salamanders. Uh, yeah, I think I had some skinks in there. I had king snakes in there, and some of them for a while. I had gopher snakes and some of them, ringneck snakes. I had horny toads. Um, we didn't have them in slow, but I had some I caught when we went down the Mojave Desert and that. I caught some horny toads. I used to have those. Never had them when I was in slow when I was in college, but I had them before that when I was little. No, never water dogs. I had the California newts. I had the slender salamanders. I had the Monterey salamanders. Uh, also had some arboreal salamanders. Never did get one of the big tiger salamanders. Never did find one of those. I had a blue-tailed skink for a little while that I caught. Really cool, all striped, and their tails like this neon blue. Whiptail lizards, those are the ones that actually get up and run on their hind legs. Uh, had those for a little while. Of course, like swifts, bluebellies. Um, yeah, the Monterey salamander, I don't know if you know those. They're like gray, kind of gray on the bottom, and they're orange on top. Kind of like the California newt, they're like brown and orange. Yeah, and the Monterey salamander, they get pretty big. They get like 7, 8 inches. Yeah, they run like the frayed lizard. Yeah. People told me they did. I never believed them, but they moved further into this Reservoir Canyon. It's in San Luis Obispo. It got hot enough during one of the droughts that they moved from further up in the hills out towards the mouth. And I didn't know what they were, and they were walking around, and I started catching them. And some old, like, hillbilly folk came down one time, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we saw some of those boomers in here." And I'm like, "What are those?" He goes, "Oh, they kind of look like an alligator lizard, but they get up and run on their hind legs." I'm like, "What? I don't think we have anything in the U.S. that runs on its hind legs." You're like, oh no, yeah, they get up and run. Yeah, I didn't believe him. But there was one I was trying to catch one time. It was like 14 inches long, and I had like the fishing pole with the pieces the with fishing line with the loop. You're supposed to do it with like a piece of grass and that, but yeah, yeah, the loop so you can like put it around their neck and I was trying to get him, and sure enough, all of a sudden he took off and ran like 30 feet, I swear, in like 5 seconds. And sure enough, here he is, standing up, just hauling ass on his hind legs. And I was like, what? They do run on their no way. I had no idea we had ones that did that. Yeah, they're called a whiptail lizard. But yeah, they actually get up and run on their hind legs. It's crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. He was the only one that did it. He was the only one that I tried it that actually. But yeah, he got up and just took off down the hill and across the road and down the hill, and he was freaking like a little man, just running on his hind legs, with his little front legs up, just. I'm like, fuck, they do it. Those little hillbilly guys were right. These damn lizards run on their back legs. Never seen that. Yeah, but they're really hard to keep in captivity. They're extremely active. They're always moving. I think they need like 100-degree heat, like other than winter when they're hibernating. They need like above 90, and I would try to keep them in my tank and that, but they always ended up dying. I didn't have lights on them or keep it hot enough for them, or I don't know. And they used to get the little ticks on them. They get these little like lizard ticks that attach to them. They usually attach like kind of around their ear, and yeah, and you have to like, I would have to take tweezers and like pull them off them, but I don't know. I guess I had them in some of the lizard we had before them, and I put in there, and yeah, a bunch of them got on it and kind of sucked them dry, I guess, because yeah, I just could never keep one alive. They're really cool though, because their tail is like is really bumpy and kind of heavy, thick scales, and then the rest of their body's like the really fine scales, like leather. Not like an alligator lizard. It's kind of like really teeny scales, but it kind of feels soft, like leathery. I don't know. They're a little round thing. They're round and they're brown, and they're about like that big. But they like to attach to them where a lot of them, even alligator, not alligator lizards and all that, but the softer, thinner scales around their ears and that, and they're like a tick, like a reptile tick. They just attach to them and fill up with blood. And yeah, I used to have to try and pull them off, but uh, yeah, yeah, that was my history. Like you said, like I said, I had you were mostly all fish, but I had it with fish and all natives. I always had natives. Yeah, easier to attach to. They would get in where there were the smaller scales around their ears and stuff, because most of it was pretty thicker all the way down and stuff. But yeah, I had actually the red-legged frog that I had it for 4 years. I actually owned it in my possession while it was legally a sensitive species, right next to being an endangered species. And I'm pretty sure it was the very last one ever from Reservoir Canyon. Because my stepbrother, and my sister are both biologists, and they had a guy that was doing a study on the red-legged frog. And my brother-in-law saw it in my tank and go, "Isn't that a red-legged frog?" I'm like, "Oh, is that what it is?" He goes, "Yeah, those are like this close to being considered an endangered species, and you should not have that in your possession." I'm like, "Oh, really? I've had it for like 3 years." He goes, "Well, I have a friend that's doing a study. If he calls you, will you tell him where you found it?" And so, yeah, I'm like, oh, you go up here, there's a creek, there's a little tributary that comes down here. I was up there walking by and it happened to jump into the little pool of water that was left, and I caught it. And he went up there and he never found another one up there in that whole system. So I'm like, well, he probably lived a happier life here for 3 years if since he was the last of his kind. He didn't have anybody to mate with. He was lonely. He stayed here. I fed him great. He was he was the last of his species to live in that valley. Unless there was one more female that I didn't catch that he could have mated with, that maybe possibly could have repopulated the whole system, and I was the demise of the red-legged frog forever in that valley. Yeah, I actually had basically an endangered species in my possession for 3 years. They're still doing studies on the red-legged frog. I don't even know if any are left. But I did own one of the last ones. I'll have to look that up on Google and see if there's even any that they know of that are still around. They even checked here in Marina. I met the guy that was doing the study, that pond, the lock pad and all those ponds. He was doing a study to see if there were any red-legged frogs around here. I was back when I moved here in like 2009, 2010. I don't think they ever found any, but he was hired by the city to see if there were any in the local ponds. And I think he did El Estero and everything too. Yeah, because it's a red-legged frog and a yellow-legged frog. They're kind of in between. They're not as big as a bullfrog. I only had one. Yeah, they're like that big. I mean, they're not as big as a bull. They're kind of in between a bullfrog and like the tree frog. But they're like, they're like that long. Their legs are like that long. I mean, they're a pretty big frog. Yeah, I remember I was just hiking up there. And I went to walk, and as I was walking up, and I just saw he was on the side, and he jumped in, but there wasn't much water left, and I saw right where he went in. He went like under a rock or under something, and so I just like, I'm like, I got him, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool frog. I'm taking him home. I got an empty tank right now. Yep. Didn't know he was endangered. Well, back then it was sensitive. This is like the mid-90s. Now they are endangered. It's like having a pet otter in your backyard. Really, damn otters? They're still a sensitive species? I caught him a while ago. He's really cool. His name's Junior. I see him all the time down there at the ocean. Really, I can't have this? I can't have him as a pet? I built him his own little pool, and I feed him like crabs every day. Yeah. That'd be funny. Oops. Really? Endangered? Yeah, it was really funny when my stepbrother saw it, because they came over to my house and he walked in and he looks in the top tank and he sees that frog. Cooper Copper. uh, what's it? Capybara? Oh, capybara. Yeah, but it's funny. He looked at it and went, "Isn't that a red-legged frog?" Oh yeah, those ones. Yeah, I knew that sounded familiar. Yeah, and I'm like, "Is it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just found it. It was cool." And he's like, those are on the sensitive species list, really soon to be an endangered species. I'm like, cool. He looks at me, he goes, you cannot have that in your possession. I went, he's already been in there like 3 years. And he died in my hands. This is the weirdest thing. Had him in there, and then one day I saw him in there and he was like, he wasn't moving much. And I'm like, what's wrong, buddy? And I went in and I picked him up. And all of a sudden he like kicked out his back legs and he kind of made a little like croaking noise. And that was it. I was like, did you just die? I'm like, buddy? I'm like, what? Yeah, I like laid him down there and he was just like, he like went straight to rigor mortis. Like his back legs kicked out straight and just made this little like, and that was it. Like set him down and yeah, he that's how he died. He died when I picked him up. Crazy. I don't know how old he was. I'd had him for like 3 years, so I don't know how long they lived, but yeah, for some reason he just kicked his legs out. And his front legs kind of went stiff and his back legs went stiff. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, all right, buddy. I laid him down. And he was all like laid him down on the ground and like, yeah, and then, yeah, never moved again. he was, he, he like stroked out when I picked him up or something. But he actually seriously went, and he was like stiff, like instantly. I'm like, wow. He just died. He died when I picked him up. That's crazy. Yeah, like instant rigor mortis. Just. Autopsy, yeah. Yeah, so I thought he was like, I'm like, what? What are you doing, dude? You never do this when I pick you up. You always like kind of click your leg in, but you just don't like go. So yeah, I laid him down, and yeah, that was it. It was done. He just croaked out on me, literally. My frog croaked out on me, just. Like, what? Crazy. Crazy. God, I've been alive for 2.5 hours. Frog killer. Yeah, I finally had to go let the bullfrog go too. He was just too big. It was a 10-gallon tank, and he's like, let's see, he weighed like 5. He was so big. Those things are huge. I just felt sorry. He just didn't have room to move in that. So I had him for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. Used to have fun feeding the mice, like I said, and that. And I took him back to Margarita, and I set him at the edge, like 30 feet down to the water, right? And I went to the edge of the parking lot, and I just set him down. Toom, 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 toom. I swear it only took him like 4 jumps to make it to the water. He's like, he knew exactly where he was. He's like, finally, I'm home again. And he must have covered like 10 feet on each jump, just doof, doof, doof. And like the third jump, poof, and then poof into the water. I didn't feel like walking down the hill, let him go. I'm like, all right, buddy, you probably know where you are. And I set him down, and yeah, he just went like a gazelle. Doom, 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 doom. I'm like, well, I guess he knew he was home. Actually, how I found him was I had my boat out there on shore, and he was in my boat. I went to go, and I had a little boat that had decks built into it, and the back little piece I could take off, and then that's where I put the battery in, and then put the thing to the trolling motor. Yeah, and I went to lift it up, and he was sitting in the corner of my boat. And so I was able to catch him. I'm like, oh, I'd always wanted a bullfrog. Yeah, and so I took him home and I fed him mice, and I think I fed him a lizard once, and I just wanted to see what I could feed him. I heard they eat anything. So yeah, I fed him mice, I fed him a lizard. I don't know what else I fed him. Pretty much anything I could find. I just like, let's see if the bullfrog will eat it. They eat anything. Let's see if he'll eat this. Yeah, he pretty much ate everything. I'm all, ooh, maybe he'll eat a goldfish cracker. Pretty much anything I put, lifted the tank and dangled in, he would jump up and grab. So you pretty much experiment with anything to feed him. He knew that meant feeding time. That little lid in the front opened up. He knew something was coming in. He was going to be able to eat. It didn't matter what it was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was, yeah. Those things are just amazing eaters. I mean, they say they'll even eat like small birds and stuff. They'll eat like little sparrows and stuff like that. Anything they can get and drown and eat, they'll eat. If they can grab it, pull it in the water, put it underwater, and drown it, they're eating it. And then you'd be like, as he's like getting it down, he's like kind of moving the legs over and so I like that. And then like finally the tail. Yeah, baby ducks. Yeah, they eat anything that's big enough they can get in there. I mean, their mouth is like freaking that wide. I mean, they weigh like 5 pounds and they're like heads like that wide. And they got a big tongue to like grab them, but his tongue would kind of come out as you grabbed him, but he would grab him in his mouth and then take him underwater and drown him. It's like a big giant bass mouth coming up. Food! What is it? I don't care! It's a kitten? I don't care! It's a baby hamster? I don't care! It's a lizard? I don't care! I'm eating it. If that hatch is open and something's coming in, I'm eating it. I've learned how this gig works. That hatch opens, I'm getting food. Yeah, I should have always got video of all this stuff. Somewhere I think I have a, what is it? I had a snake in there that wasn't that big. And, oh no, I had a whiptail lizard. A whiptail snake. I don't know if you know what whiptail snakes are, but they look like a garter snake. They're black with yellow, but they only have 2 stripes. And they have one of those like thin necks and that kind of arrow head. But they eat lizards. And my roommate filmed it on my camera. And yeah, I had a tarantula once. Yeah, he ended up dying. I never handled him or anything. I hated it. It's the native ones, the black and tan ones. I don't know. I was driving home from fishing and there was one crossing the road, so I caught it and brought it home and I had a tank in my store. And I think I didn't give enough water or something. I don't know. I ended up dying, but anyway, the snake which eats lizards. I put a big, or my roommate I guess put a big. He caught an alligator lizard, like a pretty big alligator lizard. And he put it in the tank with it, and I guess there was like a battle royale. Like he would grab it, and then the alligator lizard would grab him, and then the alligator lizard would start spinning, and I don't know. I don't know if I still have the VHS tape somewhere that has this. But it was like for an hour, like, and then the snake would like go of it, and then the lizard would go, and the snake would try to get again, and, and the alligator lizard would grab him, or it would fight back and grab him, and yeah, uh, I guess it was a little bit uh, too big of a prey for him. But I think I came home and my roommate, yeah, it was. I came home and my roommate like had my camera out, like, and filming the tank, and I'm like, Jim, what are you doing? He's like, oh, dude, you feed this thing. Listen, I caught a big alligator lizard and I put it in there, and they've been going at it for like an hour now. Like, he just can't. It's like he keeps fighting for his life and getting out of it, and alligator lizards, they'll do the same thing like crocodiles do. They'll grab and they'll spin. And so yeah, the snake would grab him, but he would get him like in the like towards the back legs or something, and then the alligator lizard would grab him, and then it would start like kind of rolling and rolling, and then yeah, I don't know, maybe I still have that footage somewhere. I think they usually eat like the swift lizards or the smaller skinks or smaller type lizards, but this one was a little too much of a bully, so it became this battle royale for a while. I don't know if he ever did eat it, or I don't know what happened, but I know my roommate was filming it for quite a while. It's probably sitting somewhere in my storage unit and all my VHS tapes. Whip tail, or coach whip, they used to call it. Coach whip snake. I caught it in Poly Canyon behind Cal Poly. And yeah, they fast as hell. They're like a racer. I don't know if he was high, but for some reason he wanted to film it. But I just remember coming home going, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I caught this big alligator lizard in the backyard, and so I figured I'd put it in with that your snake that you always feed lizards to." And they've been going at it for like an hour. He ain't gonna eat me. He ain't gonna eat me. It's like it was like 4 foot long, the whiptail, but they're not very big around, like that big maybe, like a racer. And it was like a 12-inch, 14-inch alligator lizard. So, yeah, those alligator lizards, they're mean as hell. I mean, they'll bite you and all that, and they'll like draw blood and everything on your finger or wherever they bite you. They're wicked. So it was him against him, and I gotta find that footage. That'd be good YouTube footage. All right, Doomsday and whoever else whoever the lurkers are in here. It's been Doomsday for like an hour. Oh, Angel was in here for a little bit. All right, got teeth. Oh yeah, they have wicked teeth. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this one down. It's almost 1 in the morning. I was fishing and filming since 10. I'll probably be live tomorrow somewhere. Doomsday, are you gonna be at the pier tomorrow? What's the wind like tomorrow? I gotta go live somewhere. I'll have to check. If it's a west-southwest wind, I might go live at the pier tomorrow. It all depends on the wind there. But I'll be somewhere live around. All right, yeah, I'll be live somewhere tomorrow. Usually go live around 6 when I'm fishing, 6 Pacific Standard Time. Usually do like 2.5 hours of fishing since it gets dark, like friggin' almost 9 now, a quarter till or whatever. But all right, thanks Doomsday. Thanks for the conversation. You didn't kill my life, don't worry. That was fun to talk about. fish tanks and stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bam!